Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima LongHaul 4-bike rack here on our 2014 Winnebago Vista. Now, if you are starting to get these bikes up on your motorhome, things to consider are these are going to have a lot more strict requirements on durability and strength on the back of our motorhomes and our normal vehicles. Why that is, we are a lot further from our rear axle, so we are going to have a lot more kind of pressure and tension on the back of these guys as they get further and further from that axle. That weight's really going to start having an impact. However, the LongHaul is definitely designed for it. It's been tested time and time again on a ton of RVs by Yakima, and it definitely holds up for a lot of reasons. Taking a look though, you can see it is just one of their standard kind of hanging style racks. We are going to get 37.5 pound capacity per bike up on here. So that means we're doing a good job of getting most of our standard and mountain bikes on here. You are probably pushing it on that mountain side, so let's make sure we are checking our bike weight as we get up on here. And you will notice that we do have 3 points of frame contact on our bike. So if you're looking away of hauling carbon frame bikes with you, unfortunately, this is not going to be a great option, especially being on the motorhome. We're going to feel a lot more movement on these bikes on this frame. And if we do have a carbon frame, that'll end up warping those frames as they are sitting on there. A couple other issues you might run into as well. If you have any women's bikes or step-through bikes or maybe even kid bikes, you might have a harder time getting this horizontal frame to start working out well for you. However, we can easily fix that with a bike adapter bar, also available at etrailer.com if we need to. That just makes sure we have a good, stable, horizontal frame to go ahead and start utilizing this points of contact. On the end of the arms too, you'll notice we have Yakima's tried and tested bottle opener on the ends, which is always great for a host of destinations that we go to, which can be great for just chilling on the back of the RV, no matter what, it's right there for us. And we also have this little metal spoke, if you'll notice, on the back here, kind of tucked away, we have this integrated cable lock tucked on our center mass. What's great about this, I can take this, run this through all 4 of my bikes, make them nice and secure, and go ahead and lock it in place on that metal spoke. What's great about Yakima here, they do have the same key system. So yes, this is going to be key to like to that hitch lock that we're going to break down later in the video, but it will also be able to be key to like to any Yakima accessories we might get. So that's awesome. You can really start expanding your portfolio of recreational needs, and that way you have them all on one little key. Can be great if you're like me. I lose my keys constantly, so it's nice that A, we're getting spares, but B, that one will do it all. So to get this bike off doesn't take much time at all. We just have these little zip strip technologies holding these in. Taking a look at them, you will see there's a little ratcheting strap. They have a nice little rubber kind of on the top there to hold that in. And I actually am a pretty big fan of these guys. A, they're really quick and easy to use, but B, I do really like that extra rubber at the top. Nice to add just a little bit more protection to our frames. Now the cradles themselves, if you guys want to get a closer look, they do have that nice little inner groove. That's great for any kind of bike cables, brake cables that are running on our frame. That way they sit below our frame when we're holding, and that way we don't have any kind of rubbing and friction causing any kind of damage. And you'll notice these little kind of pads are A, adding to those grooves, but B, they're getting us a nice little like shock absorption as our bike's sitting on there. Any little thing can definitely help, especially being on the back of a motorhome. You are going to be feeling a lot more movement innately, but again, that LongHaul does a good job of counteracting that. You will notice this anti-sway cradle on here too. It does a good job of reducing the sway down innately. And a thing to keep in mind with these hanging styles is you get 4 bikes on here, you're going to get more and more movement. So anything we can do to reduce that really helps. And these zip strips do a very good job of holding that in. Those anti-sway cradles definitely coming in clutch for us. The only issue I have with them, not a great place to store them, so make sure you have a pocket or 2 just to keep track of them. And if you are looking to really extend the lifetime of your rack, we recommend taking off these zip strips. Can really help with a lot of weather and tear as they are hanging on there. Can make it easy just to get them inside, out of the weather. To take this off is kind of nice. You can actually get underneath it very, very well and walk this right off. And we are already ready to ride, as you can see. I think the longest requirement we're going to have is taking off 4 bikes. But again, that's why we got the LongHaul, right? Getting all 4 up there for the family or some friends. We'll go ahead and run these guys in. Now with any hitch-mounted accessory, we are going to be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle. And already in our Vista, we have a little bit of length we definitely have to keep in consideration. And since we are getting 4 bikes on here, we are definitely adding a little bit of space on the back. So let's go ahead and get a quick look and see how much we are working with here. From the rear of our bumper to the end of our rack here. Oh, sure we're nice and stable there. Puts us right at 35 inches from the back. Actually about 35 and 1/4 there from the end. So definitely a lot of length to consider. Keep in mind, guys, we are getting those 4 bikes out here. And what's great about it too, we do have a way of quickly collapsing it down. So maybe we're at the trailhead, or I'm sorry, the campground where we want to be. We got all our bikes off. Now we can just come right up here to this little gray trigger lever here. I like supporting the mast just a little bit, clicking that in and allowing it to drop. You're going to hear a small little click, and this will be in position. You can test it out by kind of moving it back and forth. And this is its stay and play method, as you can see right here. Look at that go. Not going to be bumping up against the back of the Winnebago, which is great. Coming to the forward just a little bit. And you might be worried about this, a little bit of movement. It's definitely not going to be doing anything, and I doubt we're going to feel it at all, especially being up in front if we were to move. Primarily, I've seen us doing this as well when we are at the campsite and just want to really shorten down that space. So you can see that shaved down a lot of room. And if I take a quick look here, looks like our contact's going to be a little furthest point here. So at its furthest point should be 9.5 inches there. Yeah, probably at its most 9.5 inches as it wiggles out there. However, natural sitting is probably about 9.25 as we are hanging there. So definitely shaving down a ton of that room. Almost about 20 inches already collapsed down. Nice to see that little bit of maneuverability coming into place. Now the long haul here, we're not going to have any kind of tilt-away features. It is going to be a fixed point, which is going to be good, again, because we are on the back of the motorhome, going to have a lot more kind of sway and movement. Anything we can do to reduce that is really going to help. But another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance to the ground. From the end here to the end of our It's going to put us right under 25 inches, so about 24 and 15/16 there to the very top. So I definitely think we're sitting well up and out of the way. But just keep in mind, we are pretty far from those rear axles, and as those front wheels go up, the back will go down. So our hitch-mounted accessories. So if you're climbing any crazy mountains out there, I'd just be a little careful. However, for our everyday use, I don't think we're going to have any issues at all. Moving our way on the inside here, you will see we have a 2-inch receiver for our 2-inch hitch. And on the inside, we do have a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt here. And basically, as we pull this guy in, they are pretty standard, of course, but as you can see, I can shake the long haul here. It's actually shaking the entirety of the Winnebago. A little hard to see because this guy's pretty solid, but it is bringing it all in line to one system. And that's making for a nice smooth ride for, yes, ourselves, but also our bike rack and our bikes. Again, all that play we can eliminate is really going to help us. And on the inside, too, you can see we have Yakima's locking core on the back there. As always, that will be key to like, utilizing Yakima's same key system. Again, so nice that we only have one key to worry about. Not going to be that much of a hassle for ourselves. Well, as you guys see, the long haul does an excellent job, and I definitely think there's a reason that it's kind of out there a lot. You know, it definitely is rated for these RVs, and it's going to be doing a good job of holding those bikes up with no problem at all. And I do like how quick and easy this is to collapse and undo. Now, those platforms out there, you're probably going to do a better job getting a higher capacity, but for our hanging styles, I definitely recommend checking out the long haul for your own use. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Yakima LongHaul 4-bike rack carrier here on our 2014 Winnebago Vista. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First, we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. And now with the fold speed bumps, these are going to be pretty much like normal speed bumps. You get to see the up and down action of the bike rack and see how it holds up. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on.